Welcome to the magic of spring fishing. In this step-by-step tutorial, we'll cover all the insider tips and creative hacks you need to catch more fish right now. If you're thinking about learning how to fish, there's no better time than right now. It's springtime, baby. Let's start off with picking the perfect spot to catch our first fish of the year. A serene pond full of lily pads, a stream flowing under a big bridge, or a big wooden dock overlooking this lake at sunrise. All these are great places to fish as the spring bite begins to warm up. You'll want to be targeting shallower areas first. This is where fish congregate as the water begins to warm. So target the weedy shorelines and muddy flats. And of course, we always want to be fishing in structure and cover like fallen trees, sunken logs, submerged rocks, and docks, which are hot spots and fish magnets for finding food and hiding from predators. And we always want to target inlets and streams too, where moving water brings food and nutrients right to the fish. Here's a great pro hack. Always fish the northern end of the lake in early spring, as it'll be the first to warm up. Now, your bait and rig in spring can make all the difference in limiting out or getting skunked this time of the year. So here's how to choose the right baits and lures for the most active and popular fish to target. For bass, you can try a traditional Texas-rigged soft plastic worm or creature bait. All you do is slide a bullet weight above your worm hook and then just thread the worm onto the hook, which will dangle and wiggle in the water to drive big bass crazy. We also wacky rig worms to give it more of an erratic presentation to mimic wounded or dying bait fish. And by rigging your baits weedless, you can work them through the heaviest of cover and slop, which is where the biggest bucket mouths are going to be hiding. And for crappie like that beauty, which are an all-time spring favorite for all pan fishermen, we love using live emerald shiner minnows under a lightweight balsa stick bobber and always around underwater structure like fallen trees, lily pads, brush piles, and around any type of wood and timber. Or if you like a more active style, you can use a 1/16 ounce or 1/8 ounce green chartreuse or pink and white jig with a soft plastic skirt or curly tail grub to drive the paper mouths crazy. And for trout and other panfish, live worms, minnows, and crickets are always fish magnets in spring and year-round under a simple slip bobber rig or fixed bobber in more shallow water. Just cast around these type of underwater structures and keep your eyes on that bobber. The advantage of a light stick bobber is that you will catch more fish because you're going to see all the fish's movements under the water, which will allow you to set the hook and land them at the exact right time every time. Here's another great pro hack. You can dip any of these soft plastics you're using in garlic or anise scents, and it'll absolutely catch you more fish. It's a gourmet spring meal, man. Okay, now let's gear up for the best spring fishing success. Yes, the bait is what catches fish, but we also need to have the right gear based on which species we're targeting. As a beginner, all you really need is a graphite spinning rod and reel combo in a 6'6" length rod and a spinning reel with at least 5 ball bearings for smooth casting and retrieving and a good drag system. You can catch any panfish, bass, or catfish in any lake you fish with this combo. And now for the really important part, selecting the right line. We always use 20 to 30 pound braided fishing line in a moss green color, which again is going to allow you to catch virtually any freshwater fish that swims. It's easy to tie, abrasion resistant, super strong, and yet very sensitive to allow you to feel more bites through the line. And if you spool it on tightly, it's going to minimize the amount of tangles and backlashes you get versus traditional monofilament line. And depending on what fish you're after is going to determine what size hook you're going to need. For example, if you're fishing for crappie or panfish, a size number 8 or 6 hook is good. For bass, we use a 2/0 to 3/0 worm hook. And for channel catfish, a 5/0 octopus circle hook. And the bigger flatheads and blues, we go with a 7 to 8/0 circle hook. But whatever hook you use, make sure it's a blood red hook because that is the color of blood. And science has proven will trigger more predatory strikes every time. It's all we use to outfish every angler out there, and you can too. Okay, topic 4. Now we know where to find the fish, what to feed them, and what to use to catch them. So let's better understand fish's behavior in spring. In essence, let's think like a fish so we can always catch more fish. Spring fish of all species are hungry, but still a bit cautious and sluggish coming out of winter in colder water. Bass and crappie, two of the most active spring fish, often will lurk around vegetation and rocks where food is plentiful without having to expend too much energy to chase prey at this point in the year. But for sure in spring, the most active fish feeding times are dawn and dusk. Fish prefer to feed in low light conditions, especially in the spring. You always want to be targeting water temperature in spots where the water's between 50 and 65 degrees, because that is when they're going to be spawning or just spawned. And if you didn't know, windy days and cloudy days are always going to be great days for fishing too, because a strong wind pushes bait fish toward shore, and this is going to lure the bigger fish chasing them closer to you and near the shallower weed edges and shoreline structure. Okay, let's wrap up with some really great hacks and tricks that all beginners and pros can use to up your fishing game and improve your skills and knowledge. First, become a casting pro. You have all winter to practice your casting in a wide open field or open pond until you can place your baits within an inch or two of the intended target. The more accurate and precise you can be with your sidearm casting around underhanging trees and under docks, the more fish you're going to target and will catch. Second is to use a good pair of UV sunglasses, not just to protect your eyes from harmful sun rays, but it's also going to let you spot fish underwater, as well as the structure you need to target and reduce glare, of course. And always carry 2 or more rods with you whenever you go. In case one breaks, bring your sturdy landing nets. You never let a big trophy get away, whether you're at shore or in a boat. And carry plenty of extra hooks, sinkers, swivels, weights, and lures in different colors and sizes, and always 2 extra spools of braided line with you. And you can bring a small notebook or journal with you whenever you go fishing, especially when you're going after a new body of water, so you can log where, when, and what you catch and the pertinent weather and temperature details. That's a wrap, folks. With the right gear, baits, and location, you too will soon have your fish story to share with your fellow fishing friends and enthusiasts. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button, enable your bell notifications so you never miss out on all of our daily fishing tips, tricks, tutorials, gear reviews, and expert advice. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Please like this video, hit the subscribe button before you leave, and don't forget to enable your bell notifications so you never miss another great video coming your way.